All right, welcome back everybody. So this week, it's one you don't want to miss. I have the CIC True 2K Polyurethane Primer. Let's get to it. So before we get into the video, let's go through some technical mumbo jumbo, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do this test, because ultimately what everybody wants to know is there a primer on the market that will block tannin and dye migration? So we're going to run the old test. So what I have here is a water-based dye and a Sharpie. So this will represent if you ran into a water-based dye situation, which actually are the most problematic with dye migration. And then we use the Sharpie as sort of an opacity, and it kind of represents an alcohol-based dye, which can be really problematic with water-based coatings. Now I also have a solvent-based dye here on a piece of ash plywood, and then I have some oak, and you can see that I've got a good streak in here, so this will produce what we call tannin bleed. So we're going to look at these. Now you can add anywhere between 10 and 25% catalyst. For this I did the max 25%, which is a 4-to-1 ratio. That's really pretty high for a water-based primer, at least what we're used to from the European side. All right, first up we have the oak with the tannin bleed spot. All right, we can see a little bit of that bleeding through. And then we have the water-based dye, which is very pink, and we have the Sharpie underneath it, which we can't really see. Then we have our solvent-based dye. It's a little bit pink. And then we have the MDF, which I shot at 12 wet mils, and it looks really good. So as you can see, we did get bleed back the first coat, which is very typical of any water base. But what I want to show you is how this coating works. It's based on its cross-linking capability. So what I like to do is, after I shoot these, I like to put them in a PPS cup and let them set overnight. This is what happens to this coating overnight. Okay? Now, you could still kind of push your finger into it, but this almost looks like a solvent polyurethane. All right? You give this thing another day, and it's like a hockey puck. All right? So that's how this is working, how it's blocking these basic cross-linking. So you have to allow it an overnight cure to get the best results. Right, so now I want to show you the results, okay? And then we're going to do the famous test don't guess and beat on them and see if how durable this stuff is. All right, so this is the solvent dye, okay, over the ash, 2 coats. This is the MDF, absolutely no grain raise whatsoever. All right, this is the one that we had the tannin spot in it. On the oak, nothing. And then the most interesting one of all of them is the dye, the red dye, water base, and the Sharpie. Okay, completely gone. All right, let's do a crosshatch adhesion with some Gorilla duct tape. All right. So basically we just got pull where we had the knife cuts, so looks good there. And that is on raw wood, so that's the best adhesion that you're going to get on the product. All right, let's take a look at the mar resistance. Basically we're denting the wood, as you might know. Now if all right, you can see it there. So let's start off with some denatured alcohol. Let it flash off. Yep. nothing going there. We took off our Sharpie a little bit. That's good. All right, let's take a look at the lacquer thinner. Let it flash. Yeah, nothing going there. We're taking the dye out of the towel I'm using. That's cool. That's interesting. And let's take a look at the acetone. I'm going to do it over here since I've got those scratch marks there. So here we go with the acetone. And nothing there. So pretty much impervious to all chemicals. Now I know it's hard to see on camera because it is a white, but you can get it and test it for yourself. It ain't going anywhere. So let me give you my final thoughts and what I kind of think about this product. Alright, so what's my final thoughts? Well, I gotta be honest and say this is probably the ultimate in water-based 2K primers that I've seen yet on the market. And here's why. You can spray this stuff at 10 wet mils on a vertical surface with no sagging, and it looks like you sprayed it flat. You can also spray it on flats at 14 to 15 wet mils with no mud cracking at all. Now, somebody's going to say, why would you want to do that? Well, one thing with Waterbase is that you're dealing with surface tension. And so one of the things that we found is to get it past the point of the ripple effect, you have to lay it on heavy. So it allows you to do that to get a smoother coat. Not to mention, when you can pile on 10 wet mils on a vertical surface, that's going to really cut down on the number of coats that you need when you're spraying vertically. You can pretty much almost do a 2-coat system with this product. Now, as far as the blocking is concerned, one of the best I've seen. You know, I know my buddy Michael Crane's going to say, well, what's going to happen 6 months from now? Well, again, the hockey puck, with how fast this stuff is cross-linking, I don't see anything getting through it. And these panels are about a month and a half old, so that's pretty impressive. I'm not seeing any bleed back. We'll see at the 6-month mark to a year. We'll see what happens. Then also on top of that, I would recommend putting a 2K top coat on top of that, which CIC does have a true 2K. I'm trying to get them to send me the pigmented and clear so I can test that, but I have not seen that yet. If you're looking for this product, the only place I know that you can get it currently is at Valleywood Coatings. That's Martine. He's out in Baldwin, California. And I'll leave a link in the description below if you want his contact information. We're also going to have him on the show the next couple weeks talking about CIC products, Tritech, and also he does carry some Envirolac as well. So I'm looking forward to having him on. Well, guys, I hope you liked the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can catch me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn at Eric Reason. Remember, guys, test, don't guess. We'll catch you next week.